Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great weekend. I wanted to hop on and share with you some of the books that I've read in January. I haven't read a huge amount. This is something that I'm hoping to rectify in February, but here are the books that I've read. The first one I can't actually show you. I was reading it on Scribd, and it's no longer available, but this is The Burgundians by Bart Van Leeuw, and this was a really thorough look at the Burgundian influence in the Low Countries. Um, Bart Van Leeuw, he does like a progressive history from the Roman era of who the Burgundians were and where they settled. But he mainly focuses the book on the late Middle Ages, so between the 1300s to the 1500s. Um, like I say, it's very thorough. It's a very big book. I think it's around 800 pages. But I think Bart Van Leeuw did a really good job of looking at the various different counts and dukes of Burgundy and how they managed to have such influence in Belgium and then the other, Holland and other counties within the Holy Roman Empire at the time that were within the sphere of influence in the Low Countries. Um, I I think he did a really good job of getting into the mind of these counts, as I mentioned. I think there were some personal comments that sort of detracted from the objectivity of the book, but I think overall it was really enjoyable. There were a lot of Charleses and Phillips. It was kind of hard to keep track of who we were talking about, but nevertheless, like I say, I enjoyed it. Um, So the next book that I read, this glare is probably going to be terrible. Um, yeah, it's terrible. You can't even see it. This is Notes from Deep Time by Helen Gordon. And this was a really pleasant book. I really enjoyed this. Helen Gordon is a geologist, and this book is really just her thoughts and musings on deep time and different geological formations, mainly in the UK, but across the world as well. Um, so she focuses on what the concept of deep time is, just how foreign it can be for normal people who conceptualize time just in the span of a human life. Um, but she takes us back millions and millions and millions, billions of years. She talks about um, the formation of the continents. We look at plate tectonics. She examines volcanology. She's very descriptive, and I think she has very beautiful language. There were a lot of description of the various different types of rocks. I think she just had a very beautiful way of writing. Um, the section of the book that I found the most fascinating, though, was the different places in France and in Finland where radioactive waste is stored deep underground. And the book focused on really, so it would take around 100,000 years for this radioactive waste to completely decay before it didn't really pose a threat to wildlife or to humans. And that's a really long time. If you think about it, 100,000 years is really between us and when we were really forming as a species. And if you think about how languages have completely changed over that time period, how are we going to continually, if we're still even around in 100,000 years, transmit this knowledge of keeping this radioactive waste safe? So, if you think 1,000 years ago, just looking at a sentence in Old English, it's completely unintelligible to many people in Britain today. So how are we going to manage to communicate effectively how to protect these canisters? There are some people in the field who are thinking of using pictograms, but again, if you think about how symbols change, that could be a really difficult task. And of course, if we do use symbols, think about how Howard Carter and his team of Egyptologists, when they uncovered Tutankhamun's tomb, just how they ignored all of the different symbols and curses on the wall. So people are very curious and they put themselves in dangerous situations. So it was very interesting to me that that discussion on the radioactive waste. But anyways, this book really she focuses as well on the different buildings across the UK and particularly in London and what sort of rock they're formed out of. And I really want to go around these different places and check these buildings out just to look for the little tiny fossils there. But anyways, yes, that was a very pleasant book. I really enjoyed it. And then finally, the book that I'm currently reading, which I'm really excited about, and this is I'm reading this for Historathon 2023, which is hosted by Vin over at Revenant Reads and by myself and my lovely co-hosts. I'll leave it down in the description below if you want to join. But I am reading Homo sapiens Rediscovered by Paul Pettit. I was really excited when this came out. I think it came out in the UK late last year. Paul Pettit is an archaeologist that specializes in Paleolithic archaeology, so early humans. And his work, there was a paper that he co-wrote with Green and some other specialists that really formed the foundation of my master's thesis. So I was really quite interested to see what he has to say for the general public about the evolution of Homo sapiens. So far, I'm about 40 pages in, and I think he's doing a really good job of making the scientific and evolutionary information digestible for a general audience. So I think this is going to be a good one. And I'll let you know how it is when I finish it. But anyways, like I say, this is a very quick video because I haven't read a whole lot in January. I'm hoping this weekend I can get some more reading done, and in February I've got lots planned for Historathon 2023. So anyways, look forward to seeing you next time, and let me know what you think in the comments below and what you plan on reading. So have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.